For a deer in a northern forest, romance comes with a deadline. As autumn arrives, hormones shift, males compete, females become receptive, and the whole population behaves as if nature has opened one enormous dating app. Then the season closes. But humans can stand beside a fire in the middle of winter, form a relationship, and potentially begin a pregnancy without waiting for spring. Summer does not switch us on. Winter does not switch us off. So why do many animals reproduce on an annual schedule, while humans remain reproductively active all year? A mating season is really a birth timing system. Animals are not choosing the most pleasant month for the adults. Evolution is trying to make the babies arrive when food, warmth, rain, or shelter will give them the best chance of surviving. Northern deer often mate in autumn, so their young arrive in spring. Some frogs wait for seasonal rain because their offspring need temporary pools. The mating may happen months before the environmental reward, because the true target is the birth. This strategy can be extremely useful, which makes humans look like the strange exception. Human ovaries normally cycle repeatedly through the year, and sperm production does not shut down for one annual off-season. That does not mean pregnancy can begin on any random day. Conception is usually limited to a short fertile window around ovulation during each menstrual cycle. But that is a monthly window, not a species-wide mating season. Humans keep reopening the opportunity instead of waiting for one particular part of the year. The clearest way to understand why begins with the deeply inconvenient human baby. A newborn deer may stand within hours. A human newborn cannot hold up its own head. Human children need feeding, carrying, protection, teaching, and supervision for years. That changes the value of perfect seasonal timing. A deer born in spring may use a brief period of warmth and plant growth to become mobile quickly. A human baby born during an excellent month will still need help through the next winter, the next dry season, and many seasons after that. One lucky spring cannot solve a childhood that lasts more than a decade. This is the central reversal. Seasonal breeders can concentrate reproduction because the young must survive one especially dangerous opening chapter. Humans cannot concentrate the entire challenge into one chapter. Even a well-timed newborn remains dependent after the weather changes. The family must solve cold, heat, hunger, illness, injury, and learning repeatedly. Timing still helps, but dependable care matters more than synchronizing every birth. For humans, the decisive resource was not simply good weather on the day of birth. It was continued access to caregivers, food, protection, and knowledge. Human reproduction became part of a long social project. Mothers were often supported by fathers, grandparents, older siblings, relatives, and other group members. Food could be shared when one person was injured, unlucky, pregnant, nursing, or occupied with a child. That support was never perfect, and seasonal scarcity still mattered, but it made survival less dependent on every baby arriving during the same narrow environmental window. That social network also changes the mathematics of bad timing. If one parent temporarily finds less food, another person may contribute. If a mother is caring for an infant, someone else can gather, hunt, carry, watch an older child, or share knowledge. Other animals also cooperate, but humans made flexible transfers of food and care a central part of raising slow-growing offspring. Humans also became unusually good at buffering themselves from the seasons. Fire provided warmth and made more foods usable. Shelters reduced exposure. Clothing expanded the conditions people could tolerate. Mobility allowed groups to follow water, plants, and animals. Tools opened different food sources, while sharing spread risk across several people. Humans did not escape nature, but they became better at preventing one bad week from deciding an entire family's fate. In unpredictable environments, reproductive flexibility could be more valuable than a rigid calendar that assumed the same season would always be best. There is another unusual piece of the puzzle. Humans do not advertise ovulation as dramatically as some other primates. A female chimpanzee can display a conspicuous swelling around fertility. Human ovulation is far less obvious from the outside. There may be subtle shifts in scent, appearance, behavior, or desire, but they do not function like a giant public sign announcing one exact fertile moment. Human sexual behavior also extends beyond the days when conception is possible. That extended sexuality may help maintain attachment, cooperation, and long-term partnerships, although researchers still debate exactly how it evolved. The important point is that human relationships are not activated only by a visible fertile signal and then abandoned when the signal disappears. Sex and intimacy can serve social functions as well as reproductive ones. For a species whose children require years of care, maintaining relationships beyond the moment of conception could be extremely useful. This does not mean humans have no seasonality at all. Births and conceptions rise and fall during the year in many populations. Temperature, rainfall, food availability, workload, holidays, disease, and cultural habits can all influence the pattern. In environments with severe food shortages or heavy physical labor, low energy availability can suppress ovulation or delay a return to fertility after birth. But the peaks differ across places and historical periods. Humanity does not share one universal month when fertility begins, or one annual point when it stops. Nature still nudges the system. It does not flip a single global switch. So why do humans not have a mating season like many other animals? There probably was no single moment when our ancestors simply lost one. Instead, several parts of human life pushed in the same direction. Repeated cycles kept reproductive opportunities flexible. Variable environments made one fixed calendar less reliable. Fire, shelters, tools, movement, and food sharing softened seasonal danger. Less obvious ovulation and sexuality beyond the fertile window supported continuing relationships. Most importantly, human children needed care for so long that one perfectly timed birth season could never carry them to independence. For the shocked deer, watching two humans stand together beside a winter fire, our behavior looks completely unreasonable. The deer waits for the right season because its entire reproductive strategy is built around delivering a fast-growing baby into a short window of abundance. Humans built a different strategy: remain flexible, spread risk, maintain relationships, and keep children alive through year after year of changing conditions. We did not defeat the seasons. We developed biology, cooperation, and culture that allowed reproduction without asking one particular season for permission.